Just worried about these guys sitting with empty glasses, you know. That's the...
Call them again.
What's your dram?
Oh, too many.
What's my dram? I had all of them, but the guys over there stole them. So.
I can vouch for that.
That's okay. I'm quite happy to pretend I am professional. Because I do have other roles in the whisky world apart from singing and entertaining. I write tasting notes for the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, and I'm a judge on the World Whisky Awards. And this is sometimes good because they might send you at the end of each year, they send you different. You never know what you will get. And if you're lucky, it's Islay single malts or old Speyside single malts. If you're not so lucky, it might be young Irish blended whiskey or something like that. One year, I got African whiskey. I don't recommend it. But I guess the problem maybe is that I don't know, but maybe it's because they are trying to sell it when it's too young, you know, or like in India they have to sell it young because the angel's share is so greedy. I don't know, but I was not impressed. I have a song about African whiskey. This is a song about a Scottish missionary who went to Africa. This is a long time ago, and he went to spread the gospel of Christianity, you know. Unfortunately, he went into deepest, darkest Africa, and the place where he arrived, the local tribe were cannibals. And the only way he could avoid being eaten was to undergo the trial by ordeal. And the first part of the trial by ordeal was to drink a huge amount of African whiskey. Now, he was a minister from Scotland, so he had no trouble drinking a lot of cheap whiskey, no trouble at all. But after, a certain amount, his judgment got a little bit impaired and things went wrong, as you will find from the song. Oh, I have a story about a missionary. Would you like to hear a missionary story?
Yeah.
It's about the two missionaries hunting in the jungle, you know. There's the father and the son, and they're sneaking through the jungle quietly. They are camouflaged and they are armed. One has a spear and one has a bow and arrow, and they're sneaking through the jungle looking for something to kill and eat. And they come to this clearing, and there's a small lake, very small lake, and something is swimming up and down in the water of this small lake. And they don't know what it is. It's nothing they've ever seen before. So they get closer quietly, closer and closer. Eventually they realize it's a woman. Naked. A naked woman is swimming in the water, up and down. And she's a white woman. They never saw a white woman before. This is a white woman with long blonde hair, probably Swedish or something. From Macmura.
From
That's what they do, After drinking whiskey, they go in the sauna. Anyway, they realize it's a woman, and the son is the first to realize because his eyesight's better. He says to the father, "Father, I think it's a woman swimming up and down, a woman in the water." Strange woman. The father, he's squinting a bit, and then she's doing the backstroke, and he says, "Yep, it's a woman." And the son says, "Father, I have a good idea. Why don't we take her out of the water and kill her and eat her?" And the father's watching this woman. So, son, he says, hold on. He said, "Maybe I have a better idea." He said, "Well, why don't we take her out of the water and take her home and eat your mother?" Now, this song is about the missionary and the cannibals, and I wrote this song, but I stole the tune from the Irish folk music, and I kept the Irish chorus because it's very easy for you to sing along with. There's no words in it. Well, a missionary jock near Victoria Falls one day got captured by the cannibals, and they tied him up and they put him in a pot and they lit up a fire and it grew quite hot. With me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla, with me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla. Well, the missionary cried to the chief of the tribe, are you open to persuasion or perhaps to a bribe? Is there nae mercy, nae court of appeal, 'cause I don't want to end up as an evening meal? With me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla, with me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla. Well, the chief of the cannibals scratched his head and he laughed at the missionary as he said, well, you wouldn't make much of an evening meal, so I'll let you have a go at the trial by ordeal. With me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla, with me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla. Well, the first thing you have to do is risky. It's to knock back a gallon of your African whiskey. Then you run to that cave on the mountainside where a terrible saber-toothed tiger bides. With me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla, with me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla. And that saber-toothed tiger has got two big teeth, and you have to pull them out and bring them back to the chief. And then you have to sleep with the chief's first bride, and she has never been satisfied. With me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla, with me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla. Well, the missionary knocked back the African whiskey, and first he got happy and then he got frisky. And he staggered up the hill feeling flushed and brave, and he soon disappeared through the mouth of the cave. With me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla, with me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla. There were shrieks and screams, roars and growls, like a dying dinosaur emptying its bowels. When at last he appeared, blinking in the light, he was covered in blood, what a terrible sight. With me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla, with me Turailla, fall-de-riddle-da, Turailla. Well, he staggered down the hill, half pissed, half dead, wounds on his body and wounds on his head. And he hiccuped and he giggled and he said to the chief, right then, where's this woman with the two big teeth? With me Turailla,